god, I think I just broke it. Alright, welcome back, you guys. Man, how time flies when you're having fun reviewing laptops. Am I right? This just came in. It's the CyberPowerPC Tracer 15R. It's equivalent to the Eluktronics RP-15, the 2021 version. So this comes with the Ryzen 4800H and RTX 3060. It also comes with a QHD screen, which looks really good. So I think the screen looks a little bit brighter than the Zephyrus G15, but we'll get into that later. Anyways, I really am satisfied with the price of this laptop and the overall form factor. So when I did order this from CyberPowerPC, I was expecting to get the Mag 15 chassis. It came in with the Eluktronics RP-15 chassis, which I'm okay with. I definitely prefer, the keyboard isn't too bad, but I definitely prefer something with a keyboard just like the G15. So other than that, let's get into the review. I hope you guys will like this, and I hope it informs you of deciding whether or not if you should buy this year's version of the Eluktronics RP-15, aka CyberPowerPC Tracer 15R. God, I swear that these names are so long. And also, I think it's also the XMG Neo 15. So thank you to CyberPowerPC for actually providing this and shipping it out within a week. So check them out if you are looking for this model. But last I checked, they took it down. I think it's because, you know, they realized they were incorrectly posting the wrong picture, which kind of tricked me into buying it. But I have this review for you guys, so let's get into it. So for those of you who don't know, Tongfang actually makes these overseas and sends it to a bunch of US distributors. Hence, you'll see this model everywhere with different logos slapped on to the top of the lid. So if you guys haven't already seen my review on the Eluktronics RP-15, remember that this is the same exact Tongfang chassis. So the keyboard is the same, the trackpad is the same, and the chassis is the same. So go ahead and check those videos out if you haven't, and to get reference for how this chassis feels. So the link is right here. The only difference is that the lid is a little bit thicker. Doesn't really make too much of a difference to the total thickness. So finally, QHD laptops are a thing now in gaming laptops. You're starting to see them with other brands, not just Eluktronics and all these Tongfang chassis brands. So you're going to see them with Lenovo and Asus, so that's a good sign. What's also to note is that you need at least a RTX 3060 to run 2K graphics on most AAA titles. So if you look at this game, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, you definitely need to be able to have a RTX 3060, and this is what my configuration has. I also found that 117 frames per second is the sweet spot for QHD gaming. Some games can easily hit that on medium settings with ray tracing off, so experiment with yourself, see what the best balance of high frames versus resolution you can get. I found that 117 is the perfect amount where I can still enable FreeSync. So as you can see here, the screen looks very nice. I definitely like how crisp the text look, and it's actually, I think it's brighter than the G15. I don't have exact measurements, but I can definitely tell it's just a teeny bit brighter. And also the colors look a little bit warmer just straight out of the factory, so it's something to think about if you don't want to calibrate this laptop for yourself. And also another thing to note about performance is that when I put this in office mode, sometimes the GPU clocks down in wattage and it kind of maxes itself out to around 30 watts, which I think could be a software issue. I'm not sure. If you play in game mode or beast mode, you're not going to run into that issue. But again, I haven't updated the BIOS because it is hard to find the BIOS for this driver. So maybe that will help, but for now, straight out of the box, straight from the factory, the wattage would drop down to 30 watts and drop my frames of the RTX 3060. So the CyberPowerPC does not have a beast mode option, but I was still getting 120 plus watts with the fan boost mode, and that's a very good score. 8,600 points is a very good score for an RTX 3060, and I also included game mode, which bumps down the score to around 7,700. So think about that if you're planning to get this laptop. It doesn't have beast mode. I think that the Eluktronics also would score around the same. I would have to get my hands on a unit, and I would actually just wait for other people to review it. But overall, the RTX 3060 was sufficient enough in taking advantage of the QHD screen. So when I was playing Cold War, I was able to get 120 frames per second consistently, and this is with medium settings and ray tracing off. So that's the key. Like, the RTX 3060 was definitely made for a QHD panel, which is such a good pair and such a good combination. I'll definitely leave a video for you guys so that you guys can see 117 frames per second is the perfect frames per second to achieve, because you're taking advantage of G-Sync or FreeSync if you have that panel, and you're also able to, play at a high level, just because 117 is not too much different from 144 hertz. So the thermals are very similar to the Eluktronics RP-15. Fan noise would reach up to 56 decibels on the fan boost mode. And, when it comes to thermals, this actually is a great performing laptop thermally. It's also important to note that you have to raise the laptop on the rear in order to get the best thermals. Alright, so here are some game clips of Call of Duty. The thermals were really good if I put like a book or a phone under the rear of the laptop, which allows for more airflow, and you can see that the thermals were about 80 degrees max for the CPU and 75 degrees max for the GPU. So again, Cinebench multi-core scores are going to be great with the 4800H. It's just a tad bit under the Ryzen 5800H with the Zephyrus G15, but still the G15 actually wins in single core performance. I think that's the key here, and the 4800H is still a bit under as far as single core performance compared to the Intel i7-10875H processor. So overall, I really like this laptop, just like all the laptops I review. But if I had to make a choice between the G15 or this one, I would definitely choose the G15, just based off the fact that I got it for open box, right? I got it for open box for around $1,600 with tax, a little bit over $200 more than getting this one. I mean, you can't really go wrong with buying a high quality chassis, a high quality keyboard, in addition to the internals. It's coming with an RTX 3070 instead of an RTX 3060. But still, if you're looking for something under the $1,400 price range, again, you could check out the CyberPowerPC video to look for a coupon. That's going to help bring this laptop down to $1,400, I believe. So great price overall. It's cheaper than Eluktronics RP-15. It's cheaper than what Eluktronics is selling for the equivalent configuration. So definitely check this out. If you want to buy an RTX 3060 laptop, this would probably be one of your best options, because you also are getting the QHD screen and a really powerful processor, the Ryzen 4800H. It's still very strong to this day. So I still definitely choose it over any Intel laptop. So I hope you guys like this review. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video if I helped you out and informed you of the latest laptops. So again, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.